They and myself have started a new foundation called Realtors of Change. Everybody is like, what's wrong? What happened? Your best friend left. Oh, another friend left. We all started in the same place. It's what we do in between that gets us to success.
Right.
I actually don't believe in the word balance.
You don't?
I say it's a work-life dynamic.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the What's Next podcast. I'm your host, Levi Casada, and the man behind the cameras, the Tony Hernandez. Say hello, Tony.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
Tony, last night, you know where I went?
When? Where?
Dude, I went to this pretty incredible, I got asked to go to an event, which I usually don't.
Okay.
After work, I know.
Yeah.
And it was like a networking event, but it was really cool. It was called Peaks and Valleys Storytelling.
Nice.
I'm not a good storyteller.
Okay.
So obviously I wasn't part of the panel.
Yeah.
I'm not a good storyteller. You have to, it's an art. You have to practice, I think, to be a good
there's some
storyteller.
people they're naturally good at.
Yeah. And so that's why there was a panel, but it really made me think, I didn't know what peaks and valleys meant. Like I was like, oh, what is that? That's an interesting. But if you draw out your life, like if you just start thinking from like when you can actually like cause problems.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that was a highlight. That was the low. So there you go. There's your, your peak and then your valley, and it goes up and down, up and down and down. And you start that. And this is great to tell, someone you work with or, your employees to do themselves, and then point at the thing and be like, okay, that story. What's that story?
Yeah.
Everybody has a story.
Yep.
Everybody has their own story. And that's why I love being here. And this is perfect from being there last night to today. It led up to today because this podcast is about people's stories and where they come from. So I love being here. Okay, this is my story.
Yes, this is your story.
That's the beginning of the story. But I have a very special guest today. She's the CEO of the Team Z.
What?
Realty.
Really? Oh.
Yes.
That's
she is absolutely gorgeous. Cameras, you can see
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
You can see with your eyes.
Yeah.
The Queen Z herself.
Oh, wow. Queen Z. I like that. Okay.
Please welcome Zandra Ulloa.
Hello. Whoop, whoop. Hi, everybody.
I said it right.
You did.
I said it right.
You are not fired.
I'm not fired. Okay. I was. She did help me with her last name before we got in here, but
With all due respect, most people can't say it properly, so it's okay.
oh, thank you. Thank you. I try.
Yeah.
I try. This is clearly not your first podcast.
No, I've done this a few times.
Yeah.
A few times.
That's okay. This is my first one.
Oh, yeah.
No. This is great. I love that you're experienced on podcast with the headsets and everything.
Yes, we're good.
You're good. You're ready to go.
Let's do this.
Let's break.
It's not her first one, but it's going to be the best one for sure.
It's going to be the best one. I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. We're going to break all barriers
You know
right
what
now.
I'm saying?
Well, I like to break the ice, if that's okay with you.
Let's do it.
Are you ready? I got some would you rather questions.
Okay.
Okay? They're real estate related,
Okay.
which is great.
I was a little scared.
I felt the like,
Let's just-
oh no.
Well, all of a sudden, I'm getting nervous.
No, a little
here.
sweaty. No. I made sure to make them nice and wholesome, but
thank
they're
you.
kind of quirky because, they're real estate related. We'll see. All right. Would you rather have to deal with a seller who insists on keeping their extensive doll collection on display during showings, or one who has a room full of clown memorabilia?
Ew, they're both horrible.
Both horrible.
Why would you ever? I would say dolls have to go. Clowns can stay. Dolls are creepy.
Yeah, I feel like you can swing clowns somehow.
But I would accidentally on purpose put them all away while she turned her back.
Have you had to deal with anybody that had
I have.
a collection of some sort that you were like, sweetie?
I have a huge, at least 2,000 items from Disney.
Really?
So even though it was very nice and happy, right?
Yeah.
It was overwhelming, and you could not see any of the walls and some of the floors in some of the rooms.
My goodness. You
Yes.
couldn't see the walls?
No. She had shelves everywhere. So imagine 2,000 little items and or large items.
Yeah.
It was pretty intense.
That's intense.
Yeah.
That's the happiest place on earth, though.
Not that moment.
Not at that moment.
No, and she was not happy with me that I suggested it, but we sold the property for top dollar, so that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Yes.
You worked it out.
I did.
You told her
had to
story.
pack
You
them
had to tell
very
a very
carefully.
good story there.
Yes.
Yeah, right? I got a story for you after this about dolls that were left behind.
No, thank you.
I still have a nightmare. All right. Would you rather have a client who believes in ghosts and ask you to check every room for paranormal activity, or a client who consistently tries to negotiate by bribing you with baked goods?
I love sweets. Bring it on.
Bring it on.
The paranormal activity really freaks me out.
Does it?
Yeah, I believe in it and I welcome it in a sense of, grandma, hey, is that you? But
yeah, the nice part of it.
The nice part of it, right? And just feeling that it feels okay.
Yeah.
But paranormal activity freaks me out.
Yeah.
So
does everybody.
I know. I hear a crack and I'm like, yep, not going in there either. There must be a doll.
Yep. there's some dolls walking around over there.
Thank you.
So good baked goods. What do you go to? What's your go-to?
Creme brulee.
Really?
Yes,
I
that's
should
my
know.
thing.
Okay, next time.
For sure.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, would you rather have a client who insists on making lowball offers on every property or one who only wants to see the homes that they are way above their budget?
I'll do lowball offers all day long.
Will you?
Yeah, because it just shows that they're at least really serious.
Yeah.
And 1 out of every 100 will say yes.
That's true.
Plus, I have all my templates on auto, so it's not too difficult.
That's it's a lot easier now.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. The low baller though
ball.
is you can't you just be showing homes the whole time with someone that's not it's not on their budget.
And if it's really over their budget, then you have to try to negotiate them down into reality.
Yeah.
And some people are just stuck at it.
Yeah.
I'd rather try to get more for their dollar than try to suggest otherwise.
Yeah, because if he lowballs, you already know. You've been doing this long enough to be like, okay, we're not getting that, but I'll submit it.
Yeah.
It'll come back, and then we're gonna have
and
to.
relationships matter. Some people just want to work with us, and so they'll just take the offer.
That's true.
There you go.
Who doesn't want to
Win-win.
work with you? I love it. All right. Would you rather have a client who insists on testing every piece of furniture for sturdiness during showings, or one who brings a tape measure to measure every room? Tell me you've had that.
That's actually very common.
That
Most
is.
people, and I bring a tape measure sometimes.
You have to.
I'll tell you why, so I don't have to go back again to measure for them. So I bring it during our showings.
Yeah.
And it really also, so the answer is I'd rather measure all day long.
Right.
Sitting down on other people's furniture is just weird. I just think it's super odd.
And being like,
And I've
this
actually
is
had
good.
someone who sat down on a couch and broke the leg, and I had to pay for that. So the answer would be tape measure all day long.
Yeah.
It also shows that they can envision themselves in a room and they're already measuring for their future furniture. So
That's
it's
perfect.
a good thing. It's a good thing.
To bring the tape measure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And plus the pictures these days, you're like, that room is huge. And you'd be like, well, let's
see if it works.
Yeah, let's see if it works
Yeah.
for what you need.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right. Would you rather show houses to clients who are always 30 minutes late or to clients who bring their overly enthusiastic pets with them?
I love animals.
Do you?
I do. And actually, it freaks me out to be late. So today being just a few minutes, you saw my communication.
You communicate very nicely.
I really cannot do the tardiness. I
Yeah.
like to be punctual. I believe it's a sign of respect. So
For sure.
I actually prep that in my consultations of what to expect and how important it is to stay on time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
And
You set
love
that stand.
animals.
I know.
Yesterday I showed a property and I legit got French kissed by a German Shepherd.
Did you?
He didn't even take me to dinner. Yes.
You didn't? You went down.
He was
had your
just
mouth
like,
a little
"What's
open, like
up? Hey
and he was
girl,
like,
nice to see you." He went
Oh.
for it. I mean, teeth to teeth. It was pretty bad.
Really?
Yes.
That was intense.
But guess what? We're opening escrow today.
You gotta do what you gotta do
now he has to
sometimes.
see me again.
Yeah. Well, that's what I would define as over-enthusiastic pet.
Very over
Is
enthusiastic.
someone that's just
No boundaries.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather, this last one, would you rather host an open house on the hottest day of the year with no AC or on the coldest day with no heat?
Oh man, we just talked about the fact that I don't really
I
care for the
know,
cold. I'm an
right?
islander, so I'm all about being in the warm sun. But it's different when you have to stand there and smile and ask everybody how they're doing and why they're here, and you know why. And they're probably not going to work with you anyway. So I'd say I'd rather just bundle up. So I'm going to go for cold and
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
I'll make an exception for that.
Yeah. Well, this leads me into being in one of the best cities in the world, right? Do you not agree? Like
I
San
love
Diego?
it. I would never leave here. The
Yeah.
only other place I would go to would be Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Another island girl over here.
I'm 100. I wouldn't go back to my hometown of Guam
Yeah.
because it's just too hot and humid. So it's vacation ready, but not lifestyle ready for me.
Nice. Well, okay, so this whole podcast is the stories.
Yeah.
Tell me your story. Where did you begin?
So-
in Guam. Tell me, start with Guam.
Yes. Everyone always assumes I'm either just, Hispanic
Yeah.
or Filipina. And my background is my mom is Caucasian and my dad is Chamorro, which is the type of individual from Guam. I consider myself Guamanian. So I was born in Guam and raised there, was not raised there. I was raised in Hawaii for 6 years.
Okay.
And then I came here when I was 6.5 years old.
So born
in Guam,
moved
raised in Hawaii.
pretty quickly to
Yes, my dad
Hawaii.
is military, so
that's understandable. Yeah.
Yeah, so we traveled quite often, and then we ended up in San Diego. And when they tried to relocate him, he said, "Nope, I'm retiring," and I'm so thankful for that.
Yeah, good for you. That's how you got here. Now you're here. So you grew up what part of California or San Diego?
Spring Valley specifically. So
Okay.
when we moved here in 91, that was the most affordable area for the military.
You said 91?
1991.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've been, so my dad was there for a few years and went to elementary, middle, high school is Monte Vista High School. So yeah.
Nice.
There for quite a bit. And now I just live 5 minutes away from there in Mount Helix.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Now, have you seen you have the growth, the change around? That's your neighborhood.
Yes.
You know, you've lived there, you've gone to high school there, everything. What do you like about the change?
Well, I can tell you the actual company, the building I'm in for my team, I used to walk by it almost every weekend, and it used to be Yardage Town.
Really?
I remember walking into the building and saying, "Mom, this is a really cool spot." And the fact that I'm in that building myself, running my large successful team, is amazing. But the reason why I bring this up is because I've seen the town of Spring Valley, La Mesa, Lemon Grove all really develop into such a diverse community.
Yeah.
And I'm all about that, and because I believe in everyone starting the same place, they have their story, you have the chance, and then you have the choice to make it different.
Right.
And I'm proud to say I believe I am the most successful from my alma mater. I know that there are other people who are super successful, but what brings me peace is when people drive the freeway, drive down the standard, main streets. I have billboards, I have bus benches, I have national commercials.
Wow.
And I have my friends from middle school, high school, and currently just say, "Z, like you did it. You are representing our hometown so well, and we're so proud of you." So it just brings me back to, La Mesa wasn't my hometown, but it was the town I always would love going to, attending. And at the time, we couldn't afford that. And now, that's my hometown, and I serve it every single day, and I'm proud of my community of La Mesa.
That is incredible. Yeah. That's a great story. From coming up and just seeing like that. So is that where this begins? Because if you're seeing that building,
Mm-hmm.
right, and you're thinking, "God, that's cool," and it's in the back of your mind, you kept it there for so long. Where did your journey start? Like what high school ended?
Yeah.
Where did you go from there? Did you go right into?
Yeah, so I did a commercial recently, and my tagline was just a small town girl with big dreams and visions. And here I am, just really living out what I said I would do.
Yeah.
I would say I come from not a traumatic background, but one that I've always only had the choice to be strong. Which brings me to, the story altogether. I've always had my shit together. That's what I'll tell you. Okay, we'll start and we'll end with that word.
I love that.
I've always had it together, but because I've had no choice. So since I was 13 years old, I've always been more mature. I always looked older. I had my head on straight. I knew that I wanted to become something, but I didn't know what it was. But I've always loved architecture. I loved real estate.
Yeah.
I would look at buildings and I would just be in awe of people's landscapes and just the different colors and design. So when it comes to like interior design.
This is at 13
years old.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I've always also been very creative. So when it came to photography or really just putting ideas together, scrapbooking, and really bringing ideas to life, it's really helped me see beyond just the standard, like that would be cool if that color and that design was together.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. But fast forward, I've always been in customer service. I got my first job at Westfield Parkway Plaza, and when it was safe, and we'll leave that there.
Yeah.
And I was the youngest ever hired for Westfield Malls.
Really?
16 years old.
Okay.
Average average hourly rate.
Yeah.
Minimum wage was like $6.75.
Wasn't it crazy?
And I was at $11.
Really?
Yes, in
oh
high
my
school.
God, that was like, you're rich.
I was like, I was doing my thing.
You're
so
feeling good.
when I saw the money I could get from being more mature or being more responsible,
100%.
that is when I started reading more about self-development and skill sets of public speaking and really self-development as a whole. So since I was 16 years old, I've always looked into the ability to just be beyond who I felt I was at the moment to become who I knew I had the potential of being. And I got a job at AAA right when I graduated at 17.
Okay.
But I had a job lined up at SDG&E. So always customer service. So everyone always says, how do you know what to say? And how do you sound so eloquent? And when you are speaking, I have had so much practice.
Right.
Speaking to individuals, especially when they're upset. I would handle escalated phone calls. If you can keep calm while someone is literally yelling at you and everything under the sun is your fault, you can handle anything in real estate.
Well, I think a big part of customer service is listening.
Absolutely.
If you're not listening to what they're saying, then it just is already, you're thinking of what you're trying to say back to them. You've lost them.
And I've learned the technique of listen, right? You hear them, but you're listening to them, but you're also repeating it to them.
Yeah.
That's where I'm really good at is being able to say, okay, well, I understand this and I acknowledge that. So now let me bring you the solution.
Yeah.
And that's helped me in my career and even in my leadership today, 20 years later. So it's one of those things that I can say growing up, I've always been blessed to be in customer service.
Yeah.
And when I was 21, I remember being on the escalated phone line at SDG&E, and I took a call from a colleague that had been there for over 20 years, and I was just 21. And I said, okay, I'll take the call. She goes, the fact that I have to give you this call that's escalated, and I've been here longer than you were born is ridiculous. And I remember calling my spouse at the time and I said, I am just over this. I just don't want to do this. I had just obtained my real estate license because I just bought my first house at 21. And he said, just quit. I got you. And I was like, cool. I just ended the business, the opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's when my real estate career started at 21 years of age.
Wow. Congratulations. That's a big step.
Oh, it's a scary step.
It's a scary step for sure. And you had some good support at the time.
Yeah.
But man, isn't that crazy that I feel in an industry like that, or customer service, and age defines you, which is weird, and it shouldn't. Right? Yep. It's what you bring to the table. It's what you can offer. It's your story that you're telling and stuff like that. It's and for that woman to be. It was a woman, right?
It was a female, yes. And the crazy thing is that I actually had gotten in trouble. So I was on my second warning for trying to help someone out of giving them kind of internal information. I get it now that I really might have, I would say, challenged the system.
Yeah.
And I remember giving some internal information I shouldn't have given just to help somebody who had like medical needs on how to get benefits. And I remember my phone call was quality assurance, QA.
Yeah.
And they said, Zandra, like you could have really jeopardized this company. And I was like, man, this person, they need help and they need to know like the workaround. And I'm sure that if I didn't have that moment of I'm over this, I would have probably been fired, honestly.
Yeah.
And that would have been still a blessing, but it's one of those
100%.
things where you feel like, okay, everything happens for a reason in life. You learn from a few hard lessons, but at the same time, I think the worst lesson would have been me settling for that job.
Right.
Yep. And I would still be there. It would be my 21st year.
You're looking into the future at that lady saying the same thing.
And I want to tell her every day. I don't remember who it was. I think I kind of like blacked it out.
Yeah, of course.
I remember wanting to always say like, thank you.
Yeah.
Because that hatred to who I was because of my age and the skill set that I obtained because of my commitment to my growth. Yeah. It actually pushed me forward to just get out of a environment that wouldn't have been healthy for me long term.
That's such a good way to look at it.
You have to.
You have to.
Yeah.
And sometimes, it takes a while.
Right.
Sometimes you're in that moment, take a breath. Might take a day, might take a week, might take a month, but for you to sit here and be like, thank you.
It's a positive lesson.
It was a positive spin on thing.
Yeah.
Nothing is a bad learning experience. Stuff happens. The bad part of it is the learning experience.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever you take out of it.
The worst part is your response to it.
Yeah.
That's what I control.
Of course.
That's my ability to say, is it still negative or is there something positive in this? And
let
me find it. Let me find out why.
That's incredible. Well, I'm gonna spin some stuff on you here because it is you. You're that type of person, but do you know you're a Scorpio?
Oh, you've done your research. Jesus, take the wheel.
And and my wife, my daughter's a Scorpio, and my wife was like, she's October 25th.
Okay.
So you guys are kind of both on cusps.
Yep.
And she didn't want her to be a Scorpio. And now I sit down and I talk to Scorpios all the time. And I'm like, why not? What you're saying is she's going to be 13 this next month.
Bless your heart again.
Is exactly who she is.
Yeah.
Like can't handle middle school because she's just more mature.
Yep.
Developed quicker.
Yep.
Very creative. Like her art and everything like that. Let me just read. You ready for your horoscope?
Let's do it. It's my favorite thing. I have a tattoo of Scorpio. So
Do you really?
I believe in it. Yes.
I'm telling you,
Highly
this is you. I'm like, I haven't read it yet because I've kind of read it before, but I'm like, what you were telling me, I'm like, okay, passionate. All right.
Very passionate.
Scorpios are known for their intense and passionate nature. That's you.
True statement.
True statement. Now, this is your birthday, actually, too. This isn't just Scorpio. This is you.
Specific.
Yeah. They approach life with enthusiasm and deep emotion.
Very
true.
So,
yeah. I'm going to talk to your team later after this and be like, was that right? Determined. Scorpios are often highly determined and driven individuals. They set their sights on a goal. They are willing to work tirelessly to achieve it. That's you.
5 hours of sleep every day and I feel great. Working and building.
That's it.
That's it.
That's work and building.
Yep.
For your neighborhood, for your community.
And for myself, I selfishly say it unapologetically. I love what I do. I love the people I meet. I love the hardships I overcome. And most importantly, I live in the moment.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters.
You should.
I have to.
You have to. Now let's move forward. So that's just a little bit. I mean, I got to give everybody a little bit taste a little later too. But I also want to hear, you're now a real estate agent. You have 3 beautiful kids.
I do.
How do you do it?
That is my number one question.
You know that you get asked all the time?
I'm a broken record when I tell you I know exactly where every single minute goes to. My calendar's done a month in advance.
Good for you.
I know that this time next week where I'm going to be. I know when my availability is. I know when my children have to wake up, what time I have to start their lunches, what time I have to leave my house, what time I have to avoid that specific stoplight. It sounds insanely ridiculous, but it brings me peace knowing that I'm not leaving any wasted time in this one life that I have.
Yeah.
But I drop off my kids, I pick up my kids, I make dinner, I clean the house, I take my daughter to soccer, I work out, I eat healthy, I enjoy my time to myself.
Yeah.
I have a absolutely planned calendar, but I also have freedom.
Yeah.
And as crazy and contradicting as that sounds, it's something I'm really blessed that I'm great at because it's allowed me to hyperfast my success.
Right.
There is no wasted time, and I have so much fun doing it.
That is more of a hustle that you can put on anything. That is unbelievable.
My skill set in time management is unbeatable.
Yeah.
From what I have encountered from people who say, oh, I know where my time's going. I'm definitely using it. I'm being super productive. But are you? I will always be able to identify in someone's calendar where they're leaving opportunity because of the wasted time. And understand, I mean, I still scroll social media. I still enjoy a good, do not disturb and have a music session. I have a Zen room in my office. I have time in my massage chair. I have a masseuse come sometimes once a week. And I still relax.
Yeah.
But I've earned that based on knowing that I've committed the other part to my career, my family, my friends, and my passion as an entirety.
That's amazing.
Yep.
And I feel like if you ask people the same question, everybody will have a different answer, but it all comes back to balance. And so when people say balance, that's your balance.
I actually don't believe in the word balance.
You don't?
I say it's a work-life dynamic.
Work-life dynamic.
There's no such thing as balance because no matter what, if you're giving time and attention to family or friends or work or hobbies, something always is sacrificed. And a balance is 50-50.
Gotcha.
25, 25, 25, 25, right? It's a dynamic of understanding that maybe this week I might have family time once a day for 25 minutes. And again, it sounds crazy. I don't measure my time with my children.
Yeah.
I don't say, okay, you can only have me from 5 p.m. until 7:01.
Yeah, the alarm goes off.
It
and you're
doesn't
like,
work that way.
Yeah.
But I try to identify the 4 steps of my day is the acronym FORD: family time, opportunity or occupation time, rest and relaxation, and desires and dreams. Every day, FORD is met.
Yeah.
It depends on how much percentage of that FORD is met in my daily life. I don't work on weekends. I am with my family on Saturdays and Sundays all day.
Yeah.
Shopping, meal prepping, soccer. I'm a soccer mom to the fullest, 365 days a year. My son just joined baseball, La Mesa Little League Baseball. So I've added that chaos to my calendar. And
baseball's a whole different breed.
It's a whole different breed. And then you have my 5-year-old daughter who's just an absolute pleasure to just giggle and laugh and just enjoy life every day.
And she comes along for the ride.
She does.
All
so
the time.
She just started kindergarten. So this is a different dynamic.
That's a different dynamic for sure.
So I'm adjusting in the sense that just has been the last 3 weeks. So yeah, but it's been good.
It's a good dynamic
really
though, because then this is the time where, how old is your oldest?
14.
14.
Mm-hmm.
Is she a built-in babysitter yet?
No, she hates children. Actually,
oh no!
I know. She's my Taurus. She's very stubborn. She knows what she wants. But you know what? As long as she stays committed to the soccer love that she has and the understanding that she's not an excelled student in school, she's average and she has to work on it. That's all that matters to me. So I had children to take care of them, and I can't say that I ever took care of my older brother or my younger brother, but I will tell you, and this is part of my upbringing where I tell you there's a little trauma there. The only choice I had was to be strong. My dad was gone for 9 years straight, for 9 months at a time, being deployed for the military.
Wow.
My mother, really, I love her, and I said this on my last podcast. She is the best friend I never had and the best mom I now have. She didn't know how to be a mom. Now, I don't want to give that privilege of saying that she was, she has a pass. You can't say, well, I wasn't the mom that you needed me to be because I didn't know how to be one, because I didn't have one. I've learned now as a mom, as a wife, as a friend, as a team leader, I am who other people weren't to me, which is a little bit of a trauma response.
Right.
You're always there for people because you think, well, no one was there for me, so I got to be there for them. Well, I've learned that more than ever growing up. My biggest why was not to be who I've encountered already. I need to be the team leader that I didn't have. I need to be the mom that I didn't have. I need to be the wife my mom wasn't to my dad. There's a lot of lessons in life that have made me the best possible version of myself. Yeah. And I'm encouraged and I am empowered by the people that are still in my realm to this day.
That's amazing. Do you ever sit there and feel like sometimes you become your parents?
Oh, and it's scary, yeah.
It's scary, right?
It is scary, yeah. I'm going on 20 years with my college sweetheart, and to say that it's easy is not at all the truth. We have balance. You have 3 kids. Yeah. He has his career, my career, and everything in between. It's not easy. It's not. And so it's a constant battle every single day, and we're going through a season. And the season is, what level of chaos is it? And it's one of those things that, for me, I'm open about it. Anybody puts their life on social media makes it seem one way. And then there's the real story.
100%.
Then there's a real story.
I love to talk social media because I totally agree with you on this. There's times where I will see on social media where 2 couples that I know, and I'm like, God, why don't we kiss more? Why don't we, why don't we cuddle? Why don't we do trips together? Why these 2 just feel like they look like they're in love. Yeah. And then I speak to people who have multiple kids and 2 careers, and it's like, yeah, that's real life. What we're experiencing, the arguments, the trying to figure out being a parent on the fly.
And it's the obvious. We know that in any relationship, and even on my team, I say every family has, it's a little unhealthy, right? But there's no drama on my team. And the minute it surfaces, I encourage my team partners, as a family, there's always some type of something going on. You might feel this way, think this way, be this way. You need to verbalize it. No one can ever read your mind. And there's some unstable things that might happen, but I encourage everyone to have very uncomfortable, necessary conversations. Yeah. Because these are adults that are trying to live life and business together and try to succeed in one of the most toughest markets in the country, yet alone industries. right? We have the tough industry and we have the tough market.
Right.
We're oversaturated with agents who all think that they know what they're doing. And then we have the real agent partners who are really putting in their best foot and still are not getting the best results. And yet they still have to show up every single day as if life is perfect.
Yeah.
And so I tell everyone, when the minute they walk in, the minute they step on our mat, leave your shit at the door.
Right.
Step over it and come on in, be who you are. Your best is good enough today. And I encourage you to come as you are, but do not leave the same. But come in with just expecting
That's a great way to look at it. Yeah.
be your best version by surrounding yourself by people who also admit life isn't perfect, you know?
Right.
And just keep showing up. The ones who aren't showing up to the office are the ones who are struggling the most because they think that they can do it alone.
Yeah.
I would never do this business again alone.
Did you start off alone?
I was solo for 3 years. I waited to become a team in 2016. So
you went from alone to a team to somebody else's team, or?
So my exact story is this. I got licensed in 2006 and then the market crashed.
Yeah.
So I decided instead to get married, have my child in 2009, my first child.
Yeah.
And then I came back with vengeance to my career when my daughter was 3 and my son was 6 months old. At that moment, my biggest why, to be very transparent, is I wanted to prove to my husband that I could do it.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to just be mom and wife and be the domesticated partner.
Yeah.
I've always worked. Even as a mother, I still worked at least a part-time job and still kept the house down and situated. So I've never stopped working.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of that because, again, it's made me who I am today. But hyper fast, my career goes, I joined a team, one agent, 2011, and I learned a lot from the TC. But I didn't have hand-holding from him. He never taught me how to open a lockbox, how to search the MLS, how to set up tours, and love the guy. He, till this day, is super successful.
Yeah.
I respect who he is, but I've learned how not to be the team leader that he was supposed to be.
You still learn something from something
still
that,
learn from it. So we still cross paths. And so 2011, I realized, okay, I did the business and I gave a lot of commissions away, including my own dad. He sold my dad's house for me, and I don't feel that it was fair as far as what was given back.
Right.
But hey, whatever, we're good. I stopped working because I had my son in 2012. And then 2013 is where my story really began. I came back, like I said, my daughter was 3 years old and my son was 6 months old. And I have not stopped working since July 2013.
Wow.
So I just celebrated my 10th year in full-time real estate.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
And so the first 3 years from 2013 to 2016, I was solo agent. I wanted to earn the privilege of being a team lead.
Yeah.
I wanted to learn on my own. I wanted to get this thing called work-life dynamic down. And 2016 when I then decided to start a team. And since 2016, we've been top 1% for the past 7 years.
Congratulations.
So it's been awesome. Thank you.
How big is your team now?
We're at 48 agents.
No, really?
Yes. And so,
wow.
And the largest we grew was about 58 agents. Yeah. And then, we kind of just step back and say, who's just on the roster?
Exactly.
Who's really doing business? Who really wants this? So we're good at a healthy 40 to 50 agents. I love that. Now, if God tells me I have to be an agency of 500, I'll really think about it. But
That's gotta be a big sign.
I can appreciate the, under 50 agent partners because it's a lot of work.
It is a lot
And
of
I don't
work.
just keep a roster. I actually try to have relationships with every single one of my partners.
Yeah. We talked about your hustle as being an owner, a mom, and all that together. You got such a great calendar.
Yes.
What's your day-to-day look like in the office? Like you're leading 50 agents.
I'm in the trenches every single day. And so the past year has been a little bit different for me. I've actually had a really difficult past 13 months. I've been forced to face a few things that were not really in my cards that were my responsibility. One of those things is, 3 years ago, we were blessed with the Zillow account. So we sold over 1,200 homes for Zillow specifically. So Team Z was San Diego's Zillow for San Diego.
Yeah.
I will tell you, in selling 2,000 homes in the past 2 years, I don't think I would bless that upon anybody. It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of work that I can't remember, that I was just showing up and just breathing, not really understanding what the day was. I just knew it was going to be busy. So
wow.
The past 13 months have been a little bit different.
And that's you showing up and doing.
Yes. Yeah. So my average was 62 escrows every single month for me, one assistant and one TC. Yeah, pretty insane.
That's pretty insane.
Yeah.
How you look the way you do, no gray hair.
I don't have time to eat. I'm just joking. No, I'm joking. Just joking.
You don't at that point.
No.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother story. But ultimately, my day to day is dropping off the kids. Like I said, I wake up, get the kids ready, make breakfast and lunch, drop them off to schools. The past 2 years, I was dropping off 3 kids to 3 different schools. So I'm telling you, I know where my time goes and where that commitment lies. But get in the office by 9 o'clock at the latest, and just straight into admin, meetings, file management. I love training. So we do a training at least 3 times a week. And so I'm all about prospecting, learning that skill set. I'm all about calendaring and organization. And then the other one is going to be back to basics, your contracts, what you should be doing, your follow-up and your templates, and kind of that set it and forget it. So I'm really good at systems.
That's good.
But what I'm best at is working along people who also implement the systems.
Right.
Because if not, it's just chaos.
Of course.
What do I do today? Well, what did you do yesterday? I don't know. Okay, well, how can I help what you're doing?
Track it.
If I don't know what you're doing, I can't read your mind. So I have a very high expectation and a level of healthy boundary that I tell my partners, I can't help you do what you don't know you're doing.
Right.
And how do we measure its potential of growth if you don't even know how much and what and when and how you did something, if you have no idea where you started and how you finished?
And I think a lot of people's mentality when you have systems like that aren't system oriented,
right,
is that like, oh, she just wants to monitor me. She wants, to see and just overlook everything and make sure I'm doing her system and stuff like that. And it's not like that.
Oh, actually, I do not welcome micromanaging at all in my team.
Right. It's more of just like, we build these systems for you. We pay for these CRMs.
That part.
Right. It's the money you put into it, knowing that if you could look at it, you go, okay, this is what you're helping them to learn it, because then you can see what they're missing and then be like, okay, now this is what I do. This is what I would do. And then see the growth in that.
Yes. And I have something very particular in our team, and I know that nobody else has it as a team themselves, where they track effort, right? I believe in complimenting effort and acknowledging it. Now, does everybody get an award for showing up? Hell no. I'm not about that life. Okay.
Exactly.
That is your job. Your first job is to wake up. Your second job is to freaking show up. Okay. And then the real work is being able to say, okay, on this day, I did what? I have a measuring tool that is so good to be able to say, okay, this month I was able to acquire 28 points. Last month I was able to acquire 40 points. Well, what was the difference of those 12 points?
Yeah.
And it's always the action. So if you tell yourself, okay, I get a point for going on a buyer consultation with someone and sitting down and doing the 10 steps of home buying process, but then you don't have any points to putting out offers or opening escrows, then something didn't make sense on the consultation part. You're wasting your time with people who are not even qualified. So you're just being busy, but you're not being productive in movement.
This is genius.
Now, listen to this part. I went on a seller's appointment, but I don't have a point, the next point to sign listing agreement, new escrow for opening escrow. Something is disconnecting there. So then it tells me where I need to train better. The skill set.
Yeah.
So this is a measuring tool for skill set, and this has been the absolutely pivotal tool for my agents, from starting with nothing of interest and knowledge in real estate to now over 7 agents who are closing over 30 to 50 escrows every single year because of my leadership. It's accountability, true accountability, not just
accountability.
Hey, did you show up today? Did you wake up and brush your teeth?
Yeah, we're not getting points for those people. Like, that's life. Like, get up and
measurable growth.
Yeah,
from effort.
That totally makes sense. So you just telling me this now for the first time ever, I think it's genius. And for myself, I'm a volleyball coach.
Yes.
For 13-year-old middle school girls. Okay.
Wow.
And wow.
That's all I can say. Wow. Yay.
And I've been coaching for so long, but that's pretty good. It makes me think about implementing something like that, like just starting practice growth.
Yeah.
Because the other day I heard a girl. I was introducing a new skill, which was jump serving. Girls don't know, get off the ground and hit the ball in the air. That's tough, but I can do it. And I remember demonstrating it. And then a girl, all I hear her just say is, everybody goes and tries, and she's like, I can't. And I was like, whoa. And something popped in my head. I just said, whoa, everybody come in here. I'm like, I'm going to let you know something right now. I started at I can't.
Right.
Right? everybody starts at I can't. And look at that now, I can. So it's where's that I can't? And you're identifying that like from a point basis, like I can't close this deal because you can see that those points are being missed in that I can't space. So let's I can those and get those extra points.
It starts with a choice.
Yeah.
Right. The choice to be there, to say, I want to be on the team.
Right.
Then you give them a chance to learn. And then it goes back to the next choice.
Yeah.
You have a choice and you have a chance. And it's just repeat and repeat, repeat. I'm a broken record when I tell people we all started in the same place. It's what we do in between that gets us to success.
Right.
Success is defined differently by every single person. Sometimes success to someone is just waking up when the night before they didn't even want to continue life.
Yeah.
It's your
true.
perspective. It's your perspective on life and just hoping for the best. But I expect the worst. What I have gone through in life and knowing that no good deed goes unpunished.
Right.
I am facing, even currently now, a litigation that has nothing to do with me. All because I had a team and I had a work environment, and I've been fighting the past 13 months a court case, all because I allowed people to come together in one place as they are, expecting the best. And now I believe that you have to also even anticipate the worst.
The worst, yeah.
But if you keep an open mind and knowing that I sleep on a clean pillow, I have never lied, stolen, or cheated from anybody, I know that this just means my blessings are still on their way.
100%.
All day long.
100%.
Right? So you have a chance and a choice, and then you have the opportunity to recognize we all started in the same place.
Yeah.
You got to just make the right decisions for yourself at that moment. Learn through the challenges and keep pushing through and put your blinders on, because everybody has an opinion.
Everybody does.
Everybody does.
We just talked about this out there. Mm-hmm. The stuff that kind of fires you up.
Yes. Yeah.
The opinion about perspective.
She's so intimidating.
Everybody has a perspective about
Sandra's a boss lady.
We talked about that. That's terrible. Yeah. Even I said it to you. Now I feel actually really bad that I said it to you.
It's the worst thing that you can tell me, because for me, it's like I believe in people so much more than the potential that they believe in themselves. So when I meet someone and they're like, oh, you're really nice, I'm like, what does that mean?
Right.
Because I'm successful, because I have my systems and my structure and my day together, I must be a big B. Well, you're going to see that if you bring that out in me, especially if you treat other people wrong.
Yeah.
I'm a Scorpio. You're going to know
you're gonna get stung.
that I can sting.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I'm a kind person. I'm a generous person. I always hope for the best.
Yeah.
And I will never allow someone's negative impression on what has happened to their life affect my decision to still be a good person.
Yeah.
And I truly believe in the pay it forward movement. I do.
100%.
I believe that.
I love that.
Give people what they need, and what they do with it, that's their deal. But I am going to be judged based on my effort that had no ulterior motive, and I gave my best at that moment, whether that was my time, my dollar, my opinion, because they asked for it. But I am so over people telling me that I'm so intimidating. I want to choke them.
Yeah. That's the fucking worst stereotype.
But this is on like, this is being recorded, but so that's not a threat.
Or is it?
Actually.
But the reason I'm more intimidated is because I do see your, I don't want to waste your time. You know what I'm saying? That was more of me like, am I going to be a good enough host for her to actually enjoy herself? Like, I want you, I get that way. That's weird. That's a Virgo in me. Like, I want people please. I want to be like, is she having a good time? Are we having a good time? So I think that's why I get nervous. I love this. It's almost like a hot seat because I get to meet the real you. Because social media, let's go into social media, has great things and it has terrible things.
Yeah.
And it's your business card. So for me, when I have a guest, because I don't get to meet my guest most of the time because it's from a different sales rep, that's how I meet you before I get to meet you.
Right.
So what I see on your social media is like, okay, wow, she's got a lot of awards. And man, she runs
earned those awards.
100%.
I just want to remind everybody,
yes,
those are earned. They were not just voted for.
Exactly.
I've earned them.
She's got a lot of awards. She's been on a lot of shows. She's got her own commercial. And then I do some more digging and I'm like, she's a mom. She's a mom that's there.
Present, absolutely
present. Cheering on her daughter at soccer.
Never miss a weekend.
Never.
No.
Goes to Costa Rica for a tournament.
Yep.
with her daughter.
Yep.
Take her time out, and probably still taking phone calls in Costa Rica if she needs
And
to.
extended the trip another week so we can enjoy it together as a family.
By the way,
Yes.
I love Costa Rica.
It was beautiful. It was absolutely stunning. And we actually felt every season, from the thunderstorm to the hot weather to the cold weather and wind. It was really odd, but it was beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
Pura Vida for life. Like that is like.
Yes. I felt like I wanted more fusion food though. I'd have to talk about. I'm a big foodie at that. But
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to just really touch on is the social media part that you start talking about. It's like, yes, everybody has this perception of what's happening in life. And
Right.
I have, thousands and thousands of friends on every platform, and I meet people and it's like, oh, I feel like I know you because you're my friend. And it's like, I can appreciate when people actually get to know you.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful blessing when people say like, how are you, Zandra? You're running a very successful business, a very successful team. Your team is well respected. We know you know what you're doing. You're a mom. You're all of everything in between. But it's nice to hear when someone actually asks me how I'm doing, because the strongest ones are normally the people who need people the most.
Yeah.
All we have is the option to be strong and stay strong and keep it all together. But, the biggest thing for me is having the mindset of knowing that take the moment to ask people truly. When you ask, how is your day? Listen and respond to that. Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'm good too.
Yeah.
Done. Right? I like to ask everyone, what's your biggest win for the day? And what was your focus, yesterday that you got done?
Yeah.
And you encourage people through action. I love encouraging people to leave their old ways behind.
Yeah.
And, for me, most recently, I think this is a good time to tell the story. I have had many great friends join my team. I have an average of, my team partners being on my team now for over 4 years or more. So my retention rate is really high. Most recently, I've had my bestest of friends transition off my team. And so it's really difficult to live through this mission that I'm here to help people be their best versions.
Right.
But God forbid you encourage them so much to grow beyond that partnership.
Yeah.
Everybody is like, what's wrong? What happened? Your best friend left. Oh, another friend left. Oh, your COO just left. Something must be wrong. No, people go through seasons, and it's okay to outgrow the current circumstance.
Yeah.
And it's insane where people think that because there's a transition that it can't be healthy.
Yeah.
And they can't be friends anymore. And I'm so proud of my most 3 recent transitions from my team have been my best friends.
Yeah.
I'm proud of them. I'm proud of the fear that's led them to keep moving forward. And I know that the way I lead is from a genuine place of love and humility, that we didn't get here alone.
Yeah.
I got where I'm at today because of my team, my leadership, the loyalty, the commitment. And even though you have a partnership that transitions, it doesn't mean that you are left on an ill feeling.
Right.
I'm proud to say that I lead with authenticity.
Yeah.
I don't
love
have
that.
time to try to remember who I'm supposed to be tomorrow or who I was yesterday.
Yeah.
I literally don't have time for that. So for anyone who sees my partners who have transitioned, those are my girls. And I will still protect my cubs. So
Isn't
be
that
nice.
amazing? That is a true coach right there.
Yes.
That's a true coach that you do. You teach as far as they can go. It's
Right.
that whole Star Wars, if you're into that, like
Let them develop into the butterfly they're supposed to become.
100%, and you release it
Yes.
into the world to where and then you can watch, and now your colleagues
Yes.
in this industry.
Yes.
You're starting out the growth of something great to blossom more for them to go on, because your legacy is in them now. And so now they're going out and teaching the way that they were taught.
And
put a
living
spin on 'em.
and living a life
Yeah.
of belief.
Right.
It was so fearful for them to say, hey, Z, I think I'm ready to transition. Fearful in the sense of maybe thinking like, oh my God, Z's going to be so upset,
yeah.
right? And of course it hurts. It hurts so much because you have this love where, for me, everyone calls me Mama Z on the team. I am Mama Z.
You are Mama Z.
I am Mama Z, okay? I still like to think I'm 21, but I'm Mama Z. And I have, at this point, 53 children,
Yeah.
right? But I love the fact that I can lean forward into believing people more than they believe in themselves at the moment. And then they find that courage to just do something that they thought they'd never do, which was 1, potentially hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
2, be in a different environment that scares the shit out of them. And 3, continue to show up every single day thereafter.
Yeah.
That is what makes me proud every single day. I don't have friendships and partnerships only because I get a part of their commission.
Yeah.
Actually, 90% of the time, most of the first 2 years, I make 0 off of a lot of people because they're still learning the ropes.
Right.
And that's my risk. They take a risk with me, yes, eventually as their team lead and as their head associate, but I'm the one who's giving all of my skill sets from the past 10 years in hopes that I'm going to get some sort of commission.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, that's called a leader.
Yeah. And I think that's a big misconception of anybody who's out there going, oh, they're getting money off of me and da. And it's like, no, we're investing, not, money. Money is a big value.
Yep.
But one of the biggest values this day is time. You're investing a lot of time.
Everything that has come back my way again has been absolutely earned.
Right.
And I always tell our partners, you're never going to get paid what you're truly worth. You have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
I've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars giving back in situations where it just felt right to be the better person in that circumstance as a buyer or seller's agent. I've given back. I don't charge my agents when they finally have the ability to afford a property as a primary. I take 0 commission because I know how it felt to buy a home and that team lead take commission from me on my own purchase. After working so hard and qualifying, my mission statement, a part of that, and one of my core values is I do not take commissions from when my partners can finally qualify to buy a primary home.
Yeah.
Never have taken a penny from that. Nope.
That's amazing.
And I've been able to assist over 11 transactions already. So, I mean, we can add that up.
Yeah.
And again, it's a form of paying it forward and believing people that they had a vision, they felt they had a purpose, they executed it, and then they made their way. I'm a part of their story no matter what.
You are a part of the story.
Yep.
I love you.
It's pretty awesome. This is so sweet.
Yeah, this is great. No, like I am intrigued on the way your thought process is and how you just, oh man,
I will
it's
tell
amazing.
you this right now, Levi. If people really knew what I've gone through this past 13 months, everybody would wonder why I'm still standing and why I can still sit here smiling.
I believe it.
It's been a chaotic past 13 months.
Oh man.
And I'm hoping that it ends really soon.
Well, we're praying for you for sure. Whatever,
I will take it in.
Yeah.
I will take it in and because I need it.
And it honestly takes, I wanted to say this earlier when we were talking about, how people perceive you as like, oh, why she's being a bitch because she's confident and stuff like that. And I'm like, us men need to grow up.
Please.
I mean, I'm still learning to grow up. You know what I'm saying? Like we are already behind maturity wise, just in general. But like our emotional maturity is so bad that I think that's why when I said it before, I'm like, just because she's confident, people think she's a bitch.
Right.
A man that's confident, he's the man. He's the boss. He's the leader. He's got the balls, and so that stereotype is just got to be broken. That is the worst thing out there.
But I will tell you this: you're already winning because you recognize that you still have growth.
Yeah.
You're winning. When you identify, the first step is like, okay, I could be better. I need to do better.
Yeah.
It's a decision every day.
Yeah.
Right. And you affirm that today's going to be a good day or a great day, or today's going to be a change day. I like change days.
Change days. I like that.
Don't be the same person you were yesterday. Try to be better.
Yeah.
And if you can't overcome whatever it is that you're going through at the moment, just pray for the next day that you just wake up a little bit more positive.
Yeah.
I don't have any room for negativity right now. I don't have any room for wondering who likes me, who has something positive or negative to say about me, because even in the positive, when people hear that, they see you.
Yeah.
And again, they're going to be like, I get she's like successful, but she's probably psycho. She's probably super controlling. Again, I have had this controlling kind of persona. Why? Because I'm a doer.
Yeah.
I get shit done.
Of course.
And in my 3rd pregnancy, I almost died 5 years ago. So I was in the hospital for 14 days after the birth of my 3rd child. I almost died of postpartum preeclampsia. I had 22 bags of magnesium pushed through me. I felt like a sloth, literal sloth.
Jesus.
My blood pressure was 198 over 184. I walked into urgent care. They're like, ma'am, you need to get to emergency room now. I told my mom, just take me home. She's like, Z, you never ask for help. Your ass is going to urgent care.
Yeah.
Thank God she did, because I almost died. I literally almost died, and I didn't have my newborn for 14 days. That itself was horrible. So when I tell you I live in the moment,
Yeah.
it's because I almost died.
Z, why do you do that? It's so crazy. Your mindset is just like go, 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 go.
Because I don't have time.
I know, but that
We're all
honestly,
on limited
because
time.
I don't know, we are on limited time, 100%.
Yes.
At that moment, and I truly believe in this. And again, it's not a religious podcast. I think I say this every time, but I almost feel like it is, because faith comes in place where whether you believe in a higher being, whether you believe in God, whether you believe in whatever.
I want to claim Jesus as my savior. So religion or
I love
not,
that.
I just have to tell everybody that I
Perfect.
am blessed because of what he has promised me.
Amazing.
Yes.
And at that point, that was Jesus saying,
Yes.
it's time to take a break. Sometimes your body wants to keep going.
Literally,
you want to keep going.
Yeah.
And Jesus came into your mom and said, we're not allowing this for her.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It was
And to
very
stop
scary.
you from, that is scary.
So for those of you who are by the women who are constantly going and they're expecting and they are the doers,
Yeah.
you know, when we ask for help and you say, oh, what can I do for you after having a baby? Honestly, the meal prep, sending somebody to clean the house,
Yeah.
laundry being folded. Like, I know it sounds silly, but it's a domesticated things that I would always feel like I was failing in the moment, right? And I will tell you right now, my least favorite thing is to not do dishes. I don't like dishes and I don't do laundry.
But it's got to get done.
But guess what? I've
Yeah.
earned the freedom, which freedom is
Yeah.
commissions, to pay somebody else to do it for me.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And I'm proud to say that because guess what? It frees up time with my children.
Yeah.
Because if not, then I'm going to have to rush home and take out the laundry and start folding it and put it away and all of everything that never actually gets done. I am proud to say I have help. I have not been able to do this life of mine without hired help.
Yeah.
My life is a blessing because I can bless other people in
100%.
positions that they actually love to be in.
Yeah.
My assistant is one of the most amazing people. I've known her for 26 years. She loves me more than I love myself.
Yeah.
And I have to constantly remind myself, Z, I know she's willing to do it for you. Stop in the moment, say thank you, buy her lunch, do something nice, give her the day off, do something. And that's where we fail. We are so used to just allowing people to be there in the moment that we forget we are privileged to have people that love us and help us. So my word of encouragement to anybody today, for everybody who's been able to help you without asking, you owe them a fucking thank you now.
Yeah.
And that you love them and that you appreciate them because they are allowing your life to be as blessed as it truly is.
That's incredible.
Please
Yes.
just take that moment.
For sure.
Yes.
That's amazing. And I love that you say that, because there are a lot of haters out there that think, oh, she has a maid or a housekeeper or, just help in general, nanny. It's like, no, I'm worked for that. And it
I
helps
have them.
me.
I have a nanny, I have a housekeeper, I have a landscaper, I have laundry services. I do. But it's because I know where my time needs to go. And it's not to those. My family needs me, my business needs me, my community needs me.
Right.
So I have the opportunity again to bless other people in the services that they
And they're
provide
helping.
for other people.
And there's services for that reason.
Yes.
So no one should be.
Plus, I still clean before the cleaner comes. So whatever.
So do I.
Whatever.
My wife was like, why do we have someone coming over
Because I
and
want them
cleaning?
to clean. I don't want them to organize.
I know.
Okay.
She's like, but
There's a difference.
they're cleaning. It's perfect. Why are they already cleaning?
Right.
I'm like, because in your eyes it's perfect. It's not quite perfect yet.
Yeah.
I know. It's a Virgo in me. I don't know. I'm weird
That's
like
a whole
that.
nother podcast.
Virgos versus Scorpios. Let's jump into you giving back. So
Yes.
let's talk about your fundraising.
Yeah, so we're so excited. Evan Tondo, myself, and
Love
Jamie
Evan.
Z.
I love Jamie.
They and myself have
Yeah.
started a new foundation called Realtors of Change.
Realtors of Change. Okay, I
Yes.
love that.
And so it's going to be a community and network of realtors and community as a whole who want to give back not only their finances, because there are so many organizations and community involvement that need funds, yes, but also time, volunteerism, even just exposure on our social media platforms and spreading the word. But we have our first event as Realtor of Change with the amazing nonprofit community of Humble San Diego. Humble San Diego is a nonprofit that is in different states that assist ending homelessness one family at a time.
Yeah.
And so when these families finally get a home to live in, they're going in with no mattress, no bed frame, no dishes, no anything that you can think of other than your normal everyday living essentials. And Humble Design is 100% nonprofit that receives donations and all household goods, etc. So we have the privilege to partner with them we have what's called a day of service, which Team Z, and alongside my great vendor partners and internal partners of Team Z have donated our time and our money to load up a huge truck of home goods and go into these properties that have been lived in for months with nothing. No couch, no bed, no TV, no dishes. And we completely fulfill every room with its essentials. And we get to surprise the individual who's been living there for months of an entire move-in ready Airbnb type of situation.
Yeah.
The reaction, the feelings, my body gets so many chills. It is so fulfilling. And I have vowed to continue to do everything I possibly can to be a part of this organization. But Realtor of Change is more of donating to other communities. It just happens to be our next event is September 28th at Julep Venue here in San Diego from 6 to 10 p.m. And so we do need the donations. We're raising $30,000. I believe we're almost at, I believe 16,000.
Okay.
So we're doing great, but we need more donations. And then our event is a separate ticket where you get to actually join us on that night for a great cause for Humble San Diego.
Yeah.
So it's $200 a ticket for that evening. And remember, you are also donating to the community, so it's a tax write-off, right? And it's a good deed that you're doing for such a great cause. But I'm just so honored to partner with Evan and Jamie, who are known to just be world changers.
Yeah.
And just continue to give back to our community with no expectation and $5. $1, I don't care, just something to pay it forward to our community. We need change.
Yeah.
And it starts with us who are so blessed with our success of entrepreneurship and the ability to prove to these young children who have never had, yet alone a bed, but an artwork that has their name on it. They wake up to their name on a picture.
Yeah.
And it's the littlest things. I opened the door and the mom who came into her room saw a simple ironing board. And that was the first thing she said, "Oh my God, I have an ironing board." An ironing board?
An ironing board.
This is what I'm talking about.
Where we take for granted it's like a $15 purchase, if that.
The toys that her little daughter was able to open her door to and just yelp in so much excitement that she had toys to play with. I don't see life the same anymore. And I love being able to show up for the community for a great cause, and we need your help. So if, anybody is looking to do something good for our community here in San Diego, this is a great
look
start.
into this camera and tell everybody where they can find this, because I want you to send me this info as well, because I do want to be a part of it and I want to donate as well.
First of all, for the short amount of time, San Diego, thank you so much for the great interaction already, the exposure we've given. Everyone's so excited, so that is priceless to me. But we are Realtors of Change, ROC. You can find us on Realtor of Change Network. You can go to our website. We have our link there for an upcoming event at Julep Venue, September 28th from 6 to 10 p.m. You can purchase your tickets directly through there. Our first event is with Humble Design San Diego, and follow us. So whether it's Realtor of Change Network or myself, Zandra _Ulloa, ULLOA, and Zandra with the Z, follow us. We would love your support. We would love to also know what charities you would like us to be involved with, and we're more than happy to take a look into it to see if this may be a charity of choice that we can sponsor in the future as well, but we're just getting started.
I bet.
Now is the time to change, and let's start with our community.
That's amazing.
Yes.
You're here. Realtors, you're here. This is most people that sit down in this chair are native San Diegans. Let's give back.
Yes, please.
I'm totally on board. And thank you so much for taking the time sitting here and having this conversation.
This was fun. Thank you for not putting me so much in the hot seat.
No, I would never do that.
Sure.
No, I don't. I'd never give anybody a format, but I just want to, because it's again, it goes back to the story.
Right.
This is your story. And when we talked about this out there, everybody's so caught up in social media and everybody else's story. And they even actually say story on there, right? Your reels, your story. Live your story. Tell your story in life. Stop living through someone else's. You have the mentors and the people that will get you to tell your story better. And that's what you do.
Yes. And I'm so blessed to just remind everybody to just stay authentic. Don't
authentic
remember who you're supposed to be tomorrow. Be yourself today.
Yeah.
Be unapologetic about it. I'm blessed to have my coach, John Chet Black. I'm a part of the coaching program called Chet Black Elite. And so I am hired to help people coach their life through. I actually don't really like the word coach. I like to be the mentor. Why? Because a coach gets paid no matter the results of the coachee. So I like to just be the mentor, and I like to keep people accountable to what they do and not just what they say. So I'm blessed to be able to give back, and I'm so thankful I don't have to try to remember what I did. This is every day that I do.
Yeah.
This is me earning my success, me having calluses and even broken hearts at times, but I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm continuing to push forward.
Well, we're glad to have you here.
Thank you.
You're one of the best.
Thank you.
I'm just going to leave people with a little bit more of November 21st birthday. If you're out there, November 21st, am I correct?
Yes, that's my birthday.
All right, it's coming up.
Yes.
But let's talk about it a little bit more real quick, and I'll leave you on this with Scorpios here. Resilient. Scorpios are known for their resilience in the face of challenges, and they are a strong ability to bounce back from adversity.
Always.
You need that. That's you're bouncing. You being here today, you putting on a brave face, you being here and being yourself, your authentic self is just, it blows me away.
I'm so thankful for my challenges. It's who I have become because of them. Welcome challenges, you guys. You stop thinking that life has to be perfect. Honestly, that's scary as heck.
Yeah.
Welcome your challenges and put your armor on, because your best days are still ahead of you. Even though you might be living a really great life, I get it. I'm living a great life, but I'm so excited to know how much more promises my God has in store for me.
There's such an aura around you. I just want to, I'm sorry I'm looking at you too much, but I'm just like.
Look that way.
It feels good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you so much. Loyal. Scorpios value loyalty and tend to be fiercely loyal to their friends and loved ones. Find a Scorpio like this one, Zandra. She will be loyal to you and she will love you to the end. They will stand by the people they care about.
Always.
Determined. They are determined and can be quite stubborn when they believe in something strongly. Intuitive. Many Scorpios have a strong intuition and are skilled at reading people and situations.
Ooh, be careful with that one.
Ooh.
I'm always asking questions because I want that to not be the case, but I know what's happening around me.
You do.
I do. And I'm bold to ask. I am so comfortable asking uncomfortable conversations because I always tell people, just be honest.
Yeah.
Just be honest. Why? Because if not, then it makes me rethink the friendship or the love that we've had.
Yeah.
Be honest. I'm a tough person and I can handle it. And I've been through enough to know that this is not my first rodeo. Right? Just be honest and be brave. Bravery is such an underrated ability to just be so thankful to find within ourselves.
And I think bravery is misconstrued as like flying over the city and saving people. It's not.
No, it's being true to yourself.
True, being honest, accepting when you're wrong, apologizing when you know you're wrong.
Ooh, that part.
And moving on.
You know,
if you can't get to that point, you can't move on past that.
Insecurity and pride are probably the worst things that anybody can keep on their shoulders of choices.
Yeah.
I've lost friendships because people have not been able to drop their pride. I've lost relationships because people think that their ego is their amigo. And I want to encourage everyone that, look, stop living in this mindset that you have to be so strong all the time and that your bravery is a definition of you being able to just make decisions on behalf of everybody else because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
No, actually the right thing to do is to stop and reevaluate the situation and the emotions and the feelings that are all involved. This is not an all about you show.
Yeah.
And the minute that you think anybody owes you anything is the minute you deserve nothing.
Yeah.
Loyalty. Man, loyalty is defined in so many ways, but we'll leave that at that because, you know,
we're going to come back and do this again.
Everyone always has their definition of what loyalty means.
Yeah.
So for me, it's my core.
It's your core.
It is. Yep. If I tell you something, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And I mean it. And I do it with all the passion I possibly can give you.
Yeah.
100%.
Those are the people you need to connect with. please connect with this woman. We need to help our community.
Don't be intimidated by me.
Don't be intimidated. You see her in Costco, stop taking pictures of her, go up and say hi to her, please. She is one of the best people I know.
Thank you.
I'm privileged, honest to God, to sit here and get to know you better. This is the best part of my job.
Thank you.
Honest to God. Like, I get to meet you on social media, but then sitting down in person, yeah, it's even better.
Thank you. You're the best.
I appreciate you so much. That ends our podcast for today, the What's Next podcast. Tony, please tell everybody where they can find this special episode.
Well, guys, you guys can find us in YouTube. Yes, go ahead and follow us. Subscribe, ring that bell so you guys can get notification every time we post a new episode. Also, go please like, share, and save the clips that we post with these amazing people because we provide so much information, guys. So you guys know what to do. This is the What's Next podcast, baby. Let's go.
All right.